Hi, Howie.
Hi, Kat.
How are you?
I'm like everyone else. Apparently, we're all in this together, but we're all alone in our homes together.
But you, my friend, ahead of the curve. You weren't shaking hands doing this well before everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not, I know a lot of people, I said this before, a lot of people call it a pandemic. I call it, told you. But, no, this is what's been going on in my head for the last 64 years. Now it's a reality, which is really scary and hard for a lot of us. But, hopefully there's a lot of good coming out of this too.
Tell me what humor you found with all of this in quarantine.
Humor in quarantine? I don't know that there's humor in quarantine. I've lost my audience. My wife and I celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary and in quarantine. Thank you. Was that an applause?
That was an applause. That's your audience. I'm
no
your
S,
audience.
No S. It's just you. It's just it's an applause.
My cat Harry's right here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She said she doesn't know for sure whether there'll be a 41.
After this, they say that, Howie, that people are coming out divorced or with a baby. I'm feeling another baby for you.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell her because she's gone through that. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that on it, but this is
don't talk about the change. It's hot in here for me. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think there's any babies unless we have grandbabies. Maybe there'll be more grandbabies for us on the other side of this. It's been
How are they doing? We always talk, Howie. I love how you are with your kids and your grandkids. You're just the cutest. Are you able to see who are you quarantining with?
I'm just with my wife. So and they're quarantined separately and they won't let us. That's the thing I miss the most is being able to hug the babies. So I don't know if you saw on my Instagram, but in order to see the kids, I go to their house, I climb a tree and I look in the window. I'm in a tree, which is, I'm just in a window. I just can't imagine what is going on inside the mind of this 5-year-old and 3-year-old to say, look out the window, there's your grandparents in the tree. This is going to scar them for later, but I need to see them and I need to get my grandbaby fix.
Are you rocking that hazmat suit anymore?
No, I'm in my house. Why? I don't have to wear them in my house. I just have my wife wear it and then I'm okay and I could be comfortable. The fact that I had one is almost a joke. When I wore it to work, and you guys reported on that, but when I wore it to work, I mean, how many people can honestly say to their spouse or their significant other, honey, do you know where my hazmat suit is? And she went, yeah, it's in the 3rd drawer down. It was just normal for us to have a hazmat suit. You know what's
weird too, Howie, is we talked about it on our show when you wore that. I think it was for AGT, but that was so long ago. And we look how far we've come and where we are now, and that you and I are zooming from our home. Like, I don't know. I thought that was so clever and funny when you wore that. I never thought we would be now in this position, right?
This is like a nightmare, that has come true. This is what's been going on in my head for my entire life. And but as I was trying to say before, is that if you focus on all the positive, and the positive is, we're touching base with people that we haven't touched base with for eons. We are in positions, hopefully, to reach out and maybe do some good. And this also puts our life and our relationships into perspective that we didn't have before when we were all so busy and out and about. And now we have time to kind of reorganize our thoughts and our minds and our duties. And hopefully we come out a better world.
Who have you been reaching out to? Have you heard from any I know somebody from high school was on the Twitch channel thing with you, but who have you reconnected with?
At night, at 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, I do this thing on Twitch where Monday to Thursday, it's just a goofy little show where I just make people do awkward challenges and things like that. But then this guy, and I didn't even recognize him because he's in his mid-60s. He says he's retired. He's a truck driver or he was a transportation guy. And then he goes, you don't remember me. My name's Steve. I go, well, I know a lot of Steves. He was in my 8th grade class.
What?
But, but I'm reaching out to people back in Toronto who I haven't seen for years and relatives that I didn't call as often just to make sure they're okay. And that being said, even my fellow, workmates who I get to touch base with, we've been doing an online version of AGT with Terry and Heidi and Simon and Sophia, all in there. They've been having a pajama party. I haven't partaken in the pajamas, but there is upsides to all these, and new and different ways of connecting, and even different ways of doing business. The fact that you and I can do a show together and we're both in the comfort of our own home.
Tell me about helping Meghan Markle find that place in the Pacific Palisades here in California. I mean, I know you guys are so close, but this is a big deal.
Hence, that's the word. I said, if you want a deal, who started with the deal? Me. No, I had nothing to do with that. I know nothing about I didn't even know she was living in Pacific Palisades. She doesn't call. There. She doesn't call. She doesn't drop a note. She didn't invite me to the wedding. And I would imagine, one step pre-Duchess is deal or no deal. It's in the Rolodex, deal or no deal, Duchess. It's a deal.
You looked up there, and when she number 23, and you said that she's got it.
I said she's Duchessy.
Yeah, total Duchessy.
Duchess-like. I felt it. I know it. I have this intuition, and I have these special vibes. Apparently, I knew about a pandemic on its way too. And I also want to talk about this Sunday on NBC. We're doing a huge fundraiser. Me and every comedian you've ever heard of, from Eddie Murphy to Billy Crystal to Russell Peters to Jeffrey Ross to Michael Blackson. I can go on and on and on. I think Adam Sandler's in it. And we're raising money for Feeding America, which is a great, along with staying healthy. I think that, people have lost their jobs and their economy, and they can't feed themselves and their children. And I think this is a great cause and something that's important. So if you want to give and deter yourself for a minute from everything dark, and you want to laugh, because they say laughter is the best medicine, tune in this Sunday.
And how's it going to work, Howard?
Well, it works different ways. Some people are doing things live. Some people are sending things in. They were shooting something here the other day. It was very funny because I wouldn't let them, I'm more neurotic than most, but I wouldn't even let them mic me. I said, I'll scream. You can hold a boom way over there. And if you go on my Instagram, they set up a camera. I said, you got to turn it on. I'll clap. You got to be within, I can't even see you. And the director is like a block and a half away going, now! I'm going, how? Did he say how? How? I don't know what he said. So dealing with me in the best of times is tough, but dealing with me now and asking me to do things is even. So I think people are shooting their own stuff. Some crews are, with social distancing in mind, are going out and shooting some things, and some of it will be live. But it will all be funny and for a great cause.